What's up, everybody? You are watching the J Red Show on YouTube and TikTok. Got a lot to talk about today. The Stanley Cup Finals, the NBA Finals, the World Cup. But we will start out with the Buffalo Sabres. And I have a question for the NHL Broadcasters Association. How did Lindy Ruff not win the Jack Adams? Why did you give it to John Cooper? The Sabres were last place on December 15th. And yet they won the division. And they got to the second round. Okay, the Jack Adams doesn't count playoffs, only counts regular season. But still, how did you not give it to Lindy? And what makes it more ridiculous is Tampa Bay won the Hart Memorial Trophy, Nikita Kucherov, the Vezina Trophy, Andrei Valesky. I mean, seriously, what was the thought process behind the voting? Maybe they credit Jamo Kekalainen for the success. I mean, the problem is not every voter voted. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And of course, the question I have to ask my followers is, does the Jack Adams even matter? Does the Hart Memorial Trophy or any individual award even matter? Does the MVP award matter for the NFL, for the Buffalo Bills, or whatever the sport you follow? Or is it all a bunch of crap? The only trophy you should care about is the Stanley Cup and the Prince of Wales Trophy, because you need that for the Stanley Cup for the Sabres. Or if you're a fan of a Western Conference team, the Clarence S. Campbell Trophy. Everything else, in my opinion, is crap. But maybe you think I'm wrong, because Buffalo did take great pride in Josh Allen winning the MVP. I just don't get it, folks. So, what are your thoughts? Hit me on Twitter at JRedShow. The Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup, defeating the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2. One game 6-3-0. Just total domination by the Hurricanes. Vegas went like 20 minutes without a shot. Carolina just absolutely smothered them. Jordan Staal wins the MVP award. The Hurricanes just played the old school blunt force hockey that Rod Brind'Amour wants to see. And Rod Brind'Amour is Mr. Hurricane, as he won the Stanley Cup with them 20 years ago as a player, and now he holds the cup as a coach. He is the third human being in NHL history to win the Stanley Cup as a captain, as a coach. The only ones to do that were Toe Blake, Hap Day, and Cooney Wheeland. So yeah, Brind'Amour established himself as Mr. Carolina Hurricane. So congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes, even though I'm still bitter about 2006. Before I switch over to basketball, one more point about Tampa Bay. They are the third team in NHL history to win the Hart, Vezina, and Jack Adams in the same year. The first one was the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. Lafleur, Dryden, and Liquid for the Vezina, and Scotty Bowman for the Jack Adams. And then finally, the 96-97 Sabres. They had Dominic Hasek win the Hart and the Vezina, and Jack Adams Ted Nolan win the Jack Adams. So that's why I think it's ridiculous that Cooper won the Jack Adams. But what are your thoughts? Hey, on Twitter at JRedShow. New York Knicks win their first NBA championship in 53 years, defeating the San Antonio Spurs 4-1, winning Game 5, 94-90. Pretty much the story of this playoffs series is all 4 games, the San Antonio Spurs blew leads, including Game 3 when they blew an NBA record, an NBA Finals record, 29-point deficit. Now, for the Spurs, it's kind of a mixed bag. Obviously, they want the championship, but I think Spurs fans should be happy getting to the finals since it was their first playoff appearance in 7 years. Their first playoff win in 9 years. And they have a young and promising team, so that the young team does partially explain the comebacks and the chokes. I mean, they did make a lot of mistakes, like Game 5. All they had to do was run out the clock. Just so many mental mistakes. Game 4, San Antonio had a chance to run out the clock, and De'Aaron Fox goes for a layup. And just so many three-point attempts when San Antonio has a commanding lead. Again, yes, they are a young team, and maybe they can hide behind that excuse. But that is just poor coaching by Mitch Johnson. So, it'll be interesting to see if they fire him or not. I mean, but I do want to give credit to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson won the MVP after scoring 45 points in Game 5. He is possibly the best player in New York Knicks history. I mean, you think about the frustration with the Knicks have they gone through the last 50 years. How they failed to win an NBA championship with Patrick Ewing. And now they finally have Jalen Brunson, who delivered their first championship in 53 years. And the city of New York went wild. Although in some cases they went a little too far with stabbings and bus burnings. But congratulations to the Knicks and their good fans. Finally, some soccer. Before we get to the World Cup, Paris Saint-Germain defeats Arsenal 4-3 in a shootout, 1-1 in the game to win their second straight Champions League final. But Arsenal still got to celebrate with a parade by winning the Premier League. So a lot of fans will say, a lot of critics will say, a major tournament should not be determined by penalty kicks. But it's okay to Arsenal because they still had a huge million fan parade by winning the Premier League. So give and take when it comes to soccer. But on to the World Cup. Team USA dominate Paraguay 4-1. Team USA beat Paraguay 4-1. It is the first 3-goal World Cup win by a U.S. soccer team since the inaugural World Cup in 1930. This is arguably the best soccer team that the Team USA has ever had. Just totally dominated Paraguay. Felt like they were in their zone more often than not. Outshot 17-8. Had 63% time of possession. So, as I said, just told great players from Christian Pulisic continues to lead the team. Damian Badola, Florian Bigola, and Giovanni Reina all had goals in the game. Bagola had 2. So, the U.S., I don't think they'll win the World Cup. They're still way behind the top teams like England, Spain, Brazil, Uruguay. But they should. They're behind France. But I think they should at least win a round, get to the round of 16, especially if they can win their group stage. So that's my thoughts. Hit me on Twitter. What are your thoughts? Hit me out on Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky, all at JRed Show. And I'll see you later. Then I'll do a movies and podcast show.